Corporate life is endless emails, lukewarm coffee, and fluorescent lights flickering above like dying stars. But sometimes the real horror isn't the deadlines or the meetings. It's the people sitting right beside you. When I first started at Craytech Solutions, it seemed like any other mid-sized tech company. I got my cubicle, my onboarding swag bag, and the standard "welcome aboard" email from HR. Everything was painfully normal. New team, new routines, the same beige walls, and motivational posters that everyone ignored. It felt safe, boring even. Just another day, another paycheck. That's when I met Nathan. He was in the cubicle next to mine. Average height, receding hairline, desk covered with figurines from obscure video games. Harmless nerd vibe, friendly even. The kind of guy you wouldn't think twice about. "Hey newbie, need help setting up your printer?" I laughed, said sure, and Nathan became my go-to for IT issues. In those first few weeks, he seemed fine. Always quick with a joke, always willing to lend a hand. We even had lunch a couple of times, casual, group settings. It felt good to have a work buddy. In an ocean of gray suits and sterile small talk, Nathan seemed like a bright spot. But soon little things started to feel off. I'd mentioned craving sushi at lunch, and 10 minutes later, Nathan would pop his head around the cubicle wall, waving a sushi menu. "I know a great place down the street. We could go together." I'd get up to use the restroom, and when I came back, he'd be leaning over my desk, pretending to admire my desk plant. Just checking to make sure it wasn't fake. Ha! There were the times he showed up in places I hadn't mentioned I was going. A new coffee shop I'd discovered 2 towns over. A weekend farmer's market. Even at a friend's birthday party at a bowling alley across town. What a coincidence. Small world, huh? At first, I wrote it off. Maybe he lived nearby. Maybe he had the same taste in coffee shops and farmers markets. Maybe. I pitied him more than I feared him. For a while. But small coincidences started piling up into unsettling patterns. One Monday morning, I found a sticky note on my keyboard. "Hope your date went well." I hadn't told anyone at work about my date the night before. Sometimes, I'd hear footsteps following me when I took my usual lunchtime walk around the building. I'd catch glimpses of someone turning corners just as I looked back. Then came the emails. Not work emails, personal ones. At first, they were innocent. Links to memes, articles about desk plants. Cute even. But soon they got weird. One day I got an email. No subject line, just a picture. It was me, walking to my car, taken from a distance. No text, no explanation. Another day, a message. "You shouldn't drink so much coffee. It's bad for your heart." Followed by a photo of me holding my 3rd latte of the day. Another email contained a link to a local self-defense class, accompanied by the message, "You never know who might be out there." I laughed it off nervously, told myself maybe it was a joke. Maybe Nathan just had a weird sense of humor. Maybe I was overreacting. But deep down, something twisted inside me. A voice whispering, "This isn't normal." I decided to confront him casually. Keep it light. No accusations. In the break room, I joked, "Hey, are you secretly a paparazzi or something?" Nathan smiled too wide. "Just looking out for you. It's not safe to walk alone in the dark. Not around here." He said it like he was doing me a favor, like he was protecting me. I started parking in a different lot, walking with other coworkers when I could, changing my schedule slightly so he wouldn't know when I'd leave. I bought pepper spray. I started checking my surroundings more closely, noting exits, memorizing license plates in the lot. It didn't help. I started noticing other things. My desk drawers would be slightly ajar when I came in. My screensaver changed once to a photo of a cat. Not my cat, but one I'd posted in a private Instagram story. A sticky note appeared once on my keyboard. "Smile more. It suits you." Once I found my office chair subtly adjusted, lowered, tilted back, not the way I left it. A new fake LinkedIn account viewed my profile. The profile photo was blank, the name Watcher321. One night I stayed late, prepping for a presentation. Office emptied out. Even the cleaning crew was gone. As I walked to my car, I felt it, that prickly sense at the back of your neck. I turned. Nothing. A text. Unknown number. "You look stressed. You should let me drive you home." I froze, heart hammering. I didn't respond, just got into my car and locked the doors. I sat there for a full minute, scanning the darkened lot, every shadow suddenly a threat. From the rearview mirror, I caught a glimpse, a figure stepping back into the shadows. I drove around for an hour before going home, checking my mirrors every few minutes, double locking my doors, closing all the blinds. I left the TV on, volume low, trying to stay awake. The next morning, I went straight to HR. "Thank you for bringing this to us. We'll handle it discreetly." They said all the right things, took my statements, promised an investigation, promised confidentiality. That afternoon, Nathan's cubicle was empty. No explanation given. Just gone. His figurines, his photos, his little plant, all packed up. And for a week, everything felt normal again. Until the Friday I stayed late again. At around 8 p.m. I heard it, a faint sound, like someone brushing against the fabric walls. I peeked over my cubicle. Nothing. I told myself I was imagining things, grabbed my laptop, packed up. As the elevator doors were closing, I saw it, a figure standing at the far end of the hallway, just outside the dim light, holding something, a small potted plant, my desk plant. I didn't sleep that night. Stayed at a friend's house. Called my manager in the morning and faked food poisoning. When I came back Monday, security had been beefed up. Nathan had officially been fired. A restraining order filed. They found he'd been hiding in the building after hours, using old access codes from before the company updated the system. Sometimes hiding in closets, empty conference rooms, sometimes blending in with temp workers or delivery drivers. They found his laptop, dozens of surveillance videos, all focused on me. Clips spliced together, walking, talking, typing, laughing with coworkers. He'd kept a spreadsheet, notes on my moods, my clothing, my friends, who I talked to most, what times I usually left the building. And worse, they found a storage unit he'd rented. Inside were hundreds of photos of me, some dating back to my first interview day. Photos of my apartment building, my favorite cafe, even my parents' house, a place I'd never mentioned at work. They found a wall plastered with timelines, maps, notes, things I had said, patterns he had tracked, a toothbrush identical to mine, a scarf I thought I'd lost months ago, a key. Later determined to be a copy of my apartment key, stolen somehow. Maybe when I left my bag unattended in the office. Maybe when I hung my coat. A half-written note was found among his things. It read, "Soon we'll never be apart." Corporate jobs come with health insurance, dental, a 401k. But they don't tell you about the monsters hiding in the cubicles next door. Not all monsters hide under your bed. Some sit quietly behind thin walls, just close enough to hear you breathe. And sometimes, they're already inside your home, long before you realize you let them in. You might even smile at them, wave good morning, share an elevator ride, never realizing, until it's too late.